What is going on, everybody? It is Frank the Tank, and welcome to League Night Week 3. So, I've got quite a bit to bring you up to speed on, so while this thing gets underway, I'll go ahead and bring you up to date. So, first things first, I guess we can say I hurt my shoulder and my upper arm because it hurts. I can't really do it. I couldn't really do anything with it. I mean, I'm okay now. Like, I can do whatever now, but I still have to take it easy with the arm and the whatever. But in the week leading up to this Friday, I was in a lot of pain, and I don't know exactly what I did to enable this pain, but yeah, I don't know. It was weird. I think it may have been all the bowling. I don't know. But yeah, this was hurting, and my shoulder and upper arm area, it was just hurting, and it hurt to bowl. And I made it worse by going to practice on the Monday of this same week. And me being this stupid idiot that I am, I didn't quit. I tried to bowl through the pain, and that was a very dumb idea because I could have risked doing something even worse. Like, I could have torn something. I don't know. But I could have made it worse. Luckily, that didn't happen, but I'm never going to do that again, that's for sure. But anyway, after that Monday practice, I went home and told myself, all right, I'm going to ice the shoulder, and I'm just going to relax, and I'm not going to do anything that requires me to put any torque on my arm whatsoever. No heavy lifting, none of that. Ice my shoulder every chance that I get, and yeah, that's basically it on that. So in the days leading up to this Friday, I prayed to God that I would be able to recover enough so that I could at least bowl for this Friday league, because I really did not want to skip out on it. Obviously, the worst case scenario would be that I may have torn something or whatever, or that I would have to skip out on this Friday and possibly, who knows, skip out on what else, But luckily that wasn't the case. I was able to, as you can see here, I made it happen. I was able to recover enough to be able to bowl this, but I was worried on the day, when this day came. I was very worried because I was going to try something with the 10-minute practice that we had. I told myself, all right, I'm going to use this 10-minute practice to test out the arm, see how much pain I'm going to be in, if I'm able to do this or not. I did have a backup plan, and that backup plan was that I was if I was going to be in serious pain, I wasn't going to bowl. I was going to be smart and go home. Okay. But if I was only going to be in an amount of pain that I can't bowl normally, then my backup plan was going to be that I was going to hook the entire lane. Like you guys have seen me do in my ball review videos. Because I know for a fact that hooking the entire lane is something that I can do. I know I'm still going to be in a little bit of pain, but not as much, because obviously you guys know hooking the entire lane, it's a nice and easy kind of thing. It doesn't require me to put a whole lot of torque on the arm. So that was going to be my backup plan if I was able to bowl, but if I was still in pain to a point where I can't bowl normal, if that makes any sense. So I tested out the arm in the 10-minute practice, and it was good to go. I was able to bowl normally. And luckily, I think I still was in a quite bit of pain, but for some reason the adrenaline levels were so high here that I practically didn't even feel any pain. So yeah, I got through this night, no problem. So now that you guys know that, allow me to tell you the story about what happened before I arrived to the lanes. So on this Friday, I left my house at 5:30 p.m., which is something that I usually don't do. I usually leave at 6 p.m., but league starts at 7, by the way. 7 p.m., just so you guys know. Not 7 a.m., no way. The lanes don't even open at that time. But anyway, I made the decision to leave at 5:30 p.m. because I was going to go to the bank to get some cash to pay for league. You guys know how that works. So I made the decision that I was going to go to the bank that was nearest from this place, and that place was 1.5 miles away. So I figured, okay, I'm going to go there, get the cash, and then go back to the lanes. And by the time I made it to the bank to get the cash, it was already 20 minutes to 7. So I had 20 minutes to get back. I figured no problem, because I was only 1.5 miles away from the lanes. So, and then as luck would screw me, there was traffic. because the cops had shut down a bunch of streets. So there was a bunch of traffic, and I don't know what was going on, but it was weird. It was like there was cops all over the place. They were locking down a bunch of streets, and I didn't know what was going on. But yeah, I ended up like in traffic, and I ended up having to take like a bunch of detours through neighborhoods just to get back to the lanes, and I made it back with only 5 minutes to spare. So yeah, that I got lucky there that I just made it back. I was afraid that I knew that I was going to be able to make it back in time, but I felt like I was going to have to I was going to get there to a point where I would have to miss the 10-minute practice, and I knew I needed that 10-minute practice. So no, I made it back luckily. But you should have seen I completely like hauled it full speed when I arrived. I like got all my stuff, ran inside, got ready, and I was good to go. So I found out later on that the reason that the cops had shut down all those streets were because they were investigating a shooting that had gone on in that area. So that was pretty crazy. But as I made my way inside the building, to my dismay, Sean, the pro shop guy, he had already locked up the shop and left. So that was even worse for me because I had left my nuclear cell in his shop. So because he was already gone and no one had the key to his shop, that meant that I was going to have to go through this night without my old reliable, the nuclear cell. And that made me feel even more nervous because I felt like I really needed my nuclear cell. But I told myself, great, no nuclear cell. Looks like I'm just going to have to do with what I was going to have to make do with what I had. And this is what I had. Here's my arsenal for that night. Spare ball, obviously. I took the overseas white Belmo spare ball, for those of you who are wondering. I took the pitch black urethane ball, the IQ Tour Nano Pearl, which I didn't intend on using on that night. I actually brought it for the purpose of getting one of the grips changed because I know, stupid reason, but yeah, I was going to get the one of the grips changed out because I'll get to that in a minute. I won't get to it right now. But yeah, the IQ Tour Nano Pearl, but it's in there because I did use it. Then further up the list, I think I forgot to mention I had the Hustle wrap in there. After how good it was to me last week, I knew I had to pack it again. I think I also packed the Dark Code as well, so the nuclear cell was also going to be the other ball in the bag, but unfortunately because it was locked up in the shop, I couldn't use it, so I was without my nuclear cell this night. But no nuclear cell, no problem is I guess the best way to put what is going to happen in this video. So now that we are, I guess, up to speed on everything, I mean, I covered everything that happened, I guess now we get to it. So let's do this. So here we go. Right lane to begin. Starting with the Hustle wrap. Form looks okay. A little bit left of the target. You could tell because of how that ball kind of entered the pocket high and how the pins fell. But luckily started off with a strike. And you see how the camera collapsed right there? You're probably going to be seeing a lot of camera adjustments because, unfortunately, the opposing team, they would take their bowling balls out of the ball return and place them under the rack that's underneath the camera. For those of you who are wondering, I actually got a question about this. Where do I have the camera placed? I have it on top of this table that luckily that's like right there to give you so that you guys can get this perfect view of the lanes. But yeah, it's a table, a small circular table, and underneath that table is these two metal circle rack things where you can place extra bowling balls. And the opposing team would take out their bowling balls throughout the night. They would take out any extra bowling balls and place them in that rack that's underneath the table. And it would cause, and they wouldn't even do it gently. They would just put them in there. And it would cause the table to rattle, and it would cause the camera to collapse like that. So throughout the night I had to make a lot of those adjustments. So my apologies for that. But I don't think it'll cause any kind of hindrance to how epic this video is going to be. All right, now on the left lane, frame 2, continuing with the Hustle wrap. Horrible shot. I should have taken a little more time to really concentrate on what I wanted to do, but I didn't do that. In that moment, I felt like I'd taken enough time, but really, you can see I rushed it. I didn't. No focus whatsoever. Terrible shot. Went Brooklyn, but I didn't knock them all down, and I left the 9. No problem at all. Alright, so frame 3. I didn't make any adjustments because I felt like I think I can't remember. I think I might have known that I went a little too slow with my speed, and also that I didn't get the ball right enough. So I told myself I'm going to stick with what I did, but I'm going to try to get the ball right, and then that ended up happening. So I think after that shot and then that split, I think is when I decided to make like a half board adjustment. But yeah, I wasn't too discouraged about that. I mean, because I knew it was obviously only frame 3, it was only game 1. So I told myself, all right, just relax, pick up, take 1, and move on. Frame 4, great shot. Back on the strike train. Form seemed a little terrible there, but yeah, you see, I knew that shot went high, but I don't know that I made I'm not even sure that I made an adjustment there. I think I still stuck with what I was doing in my previous shot on that right lane. Frame 6. That looked a little left of target, but somehow it held. That's house shot for you.
Elbow!
Thank you very much, Rob Stone.
Yeah! Yahtzee! Crack open that 6-pack! He knew it! He absolutely knew it!
And so the strike streak ends at 7. Not bad. I didn't even notice until like way after that I had gotten 7 in a row, so that was pretty cool. Sucks that I ruined it by going 4 through the middle, but, you know, whatever. I knew that I had over 200, and that I was, like, relieved. I'm like, okay, job well done. I got over 200. I'm good to go. So, one thing I will say is that I had a very big problem with sweat. So, my hands, I don't know why. I guess, again, the nerves were really getting to me, even though I swear I felt a lot more chill here in this week compared to last week. My hands were getting sweaty very, very quickly. Even when I dried them off on the ball return right there where the air blows out, I like took extra time to dry my hands because they would just get sweaty so quickly. And I had that problem. I'm not sure on what shots exactly, but like I can feel like the ball, like there were times where I felt like the ball slipped off of my hands when I would let it go, and that was kind of becoming a problem. The sweat on my hands, so. It kind of sucked that that had to happen on this night, but luckily it didn't affect my performance, so thank God for that. Okay, so anyway, here we go with game 2 off of that, what was it, 239. A very good 239 game, great way to start things off. Here we go with game 2 on the left lane, continuing with the hustle wrap, considering the fact that the lanes wouldn't change that quickly. But anyway, let's see. Yeah, form looked a little wonky there, but it doesn't matter. Got that 10 out. Now, as a result of this whole sweaty hands problem that I was having, I feel like a lot of you in the comments are probably going to start telling me about that white powder stuff that people use to dry their hands. What is that stuff? Rosin or something like that? Like those little rosin bags? I feel like a lot of you are going to start telling me about those. I know. I could probably start doing that, but, you know, I don't know. I feel like the air that comes out of the ball return on that thing, I feel like that's good enough. Two in a row. Yeah, that one I felt like it was probably going to go through the nose. That's why I was like, oh, okay, okay. You know, you could see that was left of target for sure. It looked like I went down the middle, for Christ's sakes, but somehow that ball held. And my chance at a perfect game was gone. Now, after that 3 in a row, I started telling myself, and I probably shouldn't have done this, but I started telling myself, okay, I know what I need to do. I could, if I don't screw this up, if I keep a cool head and I keep doing what I've been doing to get that 3 in a row, then I could turn that 3 into 12 strikes in a row, but that didn't happen. And as a result, now we have to go for 8 spare in the 4th. So I think with this shot, I began to start, I started, I started thinking to myself, okay, I'm either making bad shots or the lane is starting to dry up just a little bit to the point where the ball is now no longer making it to the pocket from where I am standing. So I don't remember if I was thinking, okay, maybe I should make a ball change or just make an adjustment, because I know for a fact, we all know, we've seen it already. This hustle wrap clearly can handle the breakdown pretty well, like last week. I do believe that I took the hustle wrap after having used the nuclear cell for a while. I took the hustle wrap and I stood in the exact same spot that I was using the nuclear cell. And it was, it was doing what the nuclear cell was doing. It was making it to the pocket, and it was putting all 10 back. So clearly, that ball can handle that when the lane starts to dry up. That's kind of an important lesson for those of you who are just getting into this. If you're going to get a ball, make sure it can do multiple things for you. Not just one thing, because you're definitely going to run into some problems if you get that one ball that can only do one thing. But yeah, I think it was after this shot that I realized, okay, maybe I want a ball change. Yeah, at this point, I think I was telling myself that mentally, I didn't want to, start causing a struggle trying to make the adjustments. So I made the decision that, mentally, it would be better for me to just pick up a different ball and just, move to the left. And thus, we make a ball change as a result. In comes the IQ Tour Nano Pearl. There it is. So allow me to tell you what the deal was with this IQ Tour Nano Pearl, as I promised you at the beginning of the video. I didn't intend on picking up this ball at all. My reason for having it in the bag was because I was going to leave it with Sean, the Pro Shop guy, because he was going to change one of the grips out. I don't know if you guys could see the ball when it was rolling down the lane. It had a blue and orange grip. And I wanted both orange grips in the ball to match the orange writing on the ball. I know, it's stupid. It sounds picky of me. I know. But, yeah, he didn't have the orange grip for the middle finger. He had run out. So he told me, all right, I'll tell you what. I'm going to put a blue one in there and come back in a couple days. By then, I'll have, a new... I will have the orange grips because I already put it in order. They'll be arriving soon. So just come back in a couple days, and then I'll get that blue grip switched out for the orange one. And unfortunately, I planned to do that on this Friday. That's part of the reason why I had left my house early. But that ended up backfiring because I got there late because of that traffic that I had to endure. And yeah, so I had to deal with the blue and orange grip, which isn't a problem. I know, again, it sounds really stupid of me to be talking this way about it. It doesn't do anything to the ball. But yeah, that was the reason I had it packed in the bag. I was never intending on picking it up because I was going to pick up my nuclear cell. And that was going to be the substitute for all this. And that IQ Tornado Pearl was just going to be there just to be there. But after making the decision that I was going to stop using the Hustle Wrap and I was going to make a ball change, I was looking and I saw, like, I really don't want to pick up the Pitch Black because mentally I wasn't ready. And I haven't practiced enough with it, and I really probably should get back to the lanes to practice playing the lines with the Pitch Black, because I haven't done it enough. And that to be honest with you, I don't even know why I packed it, because I felt like I wasn't ready. And so I told myself, all right, the Pitch Black, even though it's here, I'm not going to pick it up. But if I needed to pick it up, then fine, I'll try to figure it out the best I can. But I told myself, okay, with the Pitch Black not being an option, my only options now are to either pick up this IQ Tornado Pearl and only have to move a couple of boards to the left, or make a huge jump to the left and pick up the Dark Code. And I felt like picking up the Dark Code would be just a bad move. And so I decided I'm going to pick up the IQ Tornado Pearl, even though I haven't practiced enough with it. I literally just got this ball drilled up. But it was working. It was working just fine. And the layout that I put on this ball was the same one that I put on the IQ Tour Solid. The 100 by 4.5 by 50, I believe is what it is. Well, yeah. I was standing, I believe, on board 21 with this IQ Tornado Pearl, and I did pick it up during the 10 minutes of practice to see what it was doing, and I didn't like what it was giving me, so that was part of the reason why I didn't want to pick it up. It was leaving me a lot of 10 pins. It wasn't hitting the pocket it wasn't giving me a strong pocket hit, and it was leaving 10s, and I was like, yeah, definitely not going to pick this up at all, but I felt like I had no other option. So luckily, things were just working out really, really well. And even though I had no clear picture of what this, I didn't have a clear picture of what that ball motion was, I just moved my target closer, and I decided to look at my laydown area and how the ball was going through the arrows instead of looking down lane like I usually do. One thing's for sure, after this night, I am so glad that I picked up an IQ Tornado Pearl again, and I am so glad that I decided to put this layout on it, because I actually thought to go with the 85 by 4.25 by 50 layout, but I decided, you know what, I want to see what happens if I take this 100 by whatever layout like I put on the IQ Tour Solid and put it on this ball. I knew I was going to have to move a couple boards to the left with this ball, and it was working just fine. I like the way it gets nice and easy around the corner. It doesn't really have that pop to it, and I love that it gives me a lot of miss room, and it does have a small bit of continuation to it. So yeah, really good ball. And I think after what you guys are about to see here, I think I'm definitely going to have to pack this in the bag for the next week. Although the form was terrible, I got all 10 back. That's all I cared about. I knew that my form was terrible too. But I was just telling myself, okay, my form is terrible, but if it means making good shots, if I have to look stupid like this to make good shots, then I'm gonna do it. Because in the end, that's what really matters, is executing, making those good shots. Because I'm not gonna lie when I say that I usually do have moments where I care more about my form than I do my shot, and that is so wrong. But yeah, I tell you, the IQ Tornado Pearl is so good. So glad that I made the decision to pick one up again. Yeah, that one kind of came off my hand wrong. I didn't put enough on it. But I didn't care because I made off with a very impressive 255 which means that that is now officially my highest league score, 255. My previous was 244. I have beaten that, so ladies and gentlemen, you have witnessed a new high score on my part, 255. So here we go, the beginning of game 3. Continuing with the same game plan, the IQ Tornado Pearl standing in the same spot. Went high there, and I do believe that because of what that, I knew probably I would have to make a half board adjustment, but I wasn't too sure. Because obviously you guys know when that pin gets left, it's because you entered the pocket a little too high. Yeah, I knew off my hand that that one was gone. So that's unfortunate, because that's technically, at the skill level that I play, that should technically be an easy one. But I didn't let it get to me, because I told myself, okay, it's only the first frame. You still got 9 other frames to like do some serious damage. That's right. I didn't let what happened in that first frame get to me, that's for sure. That one fell off my hand. Yeah, you see, I knew it too. Like, I'm like, come on, man. Why did you do that? The sweaty hands problem that I told you guys about, that definitely was not a reason for it. That, I don't know. I guess I just, like, lost my train of thought there, and I just let it fall off my hand. But check this out right here. Ran that one out, I guess. Oh, man. It sucks that the washout isn't considered a split because the head pin is there. I personally think it should be considered a split because of how it looks, but it's not, unfortunately. I knew I definitely needed that washout, though, if I didn't want to make things worse on myself. No Brooklyn Strike for me, not today. Nice shot. I was feeling that one. I was really feeling that one. Because I hadn't struck in like, what, 2 frames? I think I got 6 spare and then 9 spare. So yeah, unfortunately throughout this game I started losing my focus, but I tried very, very hard to get back into that moment. That kind of deflated my confidence and my mental game a little there. I let the thought of that 10 pin get to my head. And thanks to that thought of that 10 pin, I missed it, making things worse. I knew now that at this point, it had to be nothing but strikes because, again, I didn't do the math, but for some reason, I just knew. I knew right here that I still had a chance at 700 if I struck out. So I literally, like, I don't know what I did, but I'd like cleared my head the best I could, and I was like, all right, enough horsing around. It's time to get back in that zone and try striking again. So I think I moved a board to the left. I don't know. I think I was, let's see. In game 2, when I pick up the IQ Tornado Pearl, I think I was on, let's see, I wasn't on 20, so I was definitely on 21. I made the move to 22, because I believe I was on 21 and a half. So I made the move to 22 because I knew the lanes were just a little bit dried and the ball was hooking just a little much. Not too much, but yeah, I was on 22 at this point. I put 100%, no, I put 210% focus in this shot. I'd messed up, but I'd somehow gotten that one. Lucky break right there. So the chance at 700 was still on. About 3 in a row. So this was it right here, the 10th frame. I needed 2 strikes, I believe, for 700. So I got one. So far, so good. For 700, and I screwed it up. Remember that one shot where I messed up and I let the ball fall off my hand and I didn't put anything on it? That ended up happening right there, and my chance at 700 was now officially gone. So I could only go for 8 spare and finish with a 203, so that means that I can only get a 697 series. So just 3 pins is short of a 700. That hurt a little bit, but you know what? The good thing is that, you know, it's not the end of the world. I mean, I can always get this, there's always next time. I know for a fact that I can do it. I mean, if I can get this close, I can definitely do it. But yeah, I picked that up and I got it. But you know what? One thing's for sure is that IQ Tornado Pearl, I'm definitely going to pack it in the bag for next week, considering how amazing it was. And yeah, I mean, there you go, 697 series. This is good though. This is definitely what I wanted to see. This is what I should have been doing, to be totally honest. But yeah, there you go. That's it. 697 series, fantastic. Despite playing a little bit hurt, I got to say that's the most impressive thing ever. Not really. But anyway, I'm Frank the Tank. That is League Week 3. Done and dusted. See you guys next week for League Week 4.